And so we are back into BANLIST season. The KC Cup has ended, and now it's time for me to sit down and give my predictions to what Konami will do for the upcoming BANLIST. We're expecting to go into effect in mid to late May, based on 2019, 2020. Let's see how wrong I'm going to be, and let me know down below what you want to see in the BANLIST coming very soon. So let's dive right in. So first of all, I thought, why not talk about these skills, get them out of the way, because those are the ones I think that people are most agreed on. Starting off with Destiny Draw. Now, this has been a skill that's been in the game since day one, and as far as I know, it's not been changed since day one. Maybe it has been, but right now, the skill actually triggers when you lose 2,000 life points. That can be, you take 2,000 and you gain 2,000, it will still trigger. But the skill really needs to trigger when your life are 2,000 or below. So, you can't go and play Lunar Lights and play Battle Box of Veil and take an attack, bring him out, survive, have max life points again, and then get a free draw into your Lunar Light Fusion. Or Thunder Dragons are using it right now, so I think Destiny Draw, the time for it, it's come about that time where they really should think about nerfing it, especially given the fact they're going through nerfing, Balance, Last Balanced, all these other kind of things, so I think it's about time for Destiny Draw to see some form of hit on the ban list. Next up is Level Org, Duplication, Reduction, Level Tuning. These should be until the end of the turn at the minimum, because right now we've seen FA Hang Mac come into the game and single-handedly warp that skill to being way too overpowered. And so some people are thinking, well, maybe they brought in Hang On Mac to actually make it so that, to make them so they can ban the, hit the skill. But they could do that anyway. We just saw them go through and hit a bunch of other draw skills that don't really see much play because they hit another one. So they could do whatever they want, it's their game. They could hit it whenever they want. I don't believe in that rumor, but this needs to happen, end of the turn, or if they want to go harder, make it so you could only synchro summon, which might be a bit too harsh given it's really good with Exceeders, but in general, just making it so you can't abuse it in that FA deck. But if you make it synchros only, then you're also locking out Thunder Dragons using your skills, so maybe that's a double-edged sword. You can kind of kill two birds with one stone and hit that deck in the process. Next up, we have Ultimate Dragons. So Blue Eyes, they've been, top tier 1 for a while now. And I think they need to do something very simple and just increase the turn counter. Make it 5 turns like Chaos Max, and then it'll be a lot fairer. Or, what they could do is somehow make the player commit to it as the first thing they do. Because right now, you draw one card, you then recycle your Blue Eyes, then you play the skill, get a free poly. That doesn't seem fair. But if they made it so during your draw phase, you have to decide whether you draw a card or add a poly. If your hand has 2 Blue Eyes in, that might kill the skill, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I think that could be a very fair way of hitting the deck without going in and touching any of the main deck cards, but I think they do need some more in that regard. And finally for skills, we have Onomat Play. Now, I don't think they'll hit it. I think they're going to keep Onomat Play in the back of their minds and think, at some point we're going to hit it, because they're going to have to. But I feel like that, yes, while it's good in the KC Cup, maybe the only thing they'll do is put a life point restriction on it, which might hurt the skill. It will do, because you can't do it turn 1. But they could also, if they want to hit it, go and change it so that you can only swap between Onomat cards with the same prefix. So if you put back a Gagaga, you have to go and get another Gagaga. You can't go get a Dododo or Gogogo, you must go and get a Gagaga. So that might be a way to change it up, but also kind of keep the same functionality and make it so it's not as broken. But I think Onomats, their problem, or why they're good, is because, well, it's because of Trunade. And let's go right to Trunade. I really want this card to be forbidden. I don't think they will. This card is kind of like the Firewall Dragon of Duel Links, whereby so many other decks are getting hit because of this card, because they can play Hey Trunade and blow the back row and then OTK, whereas the deck should really have to work to that goal of blowing up the back row through their own cards. We have Gagaga Bolt in our deck that can blow up cards. So really, you should be trying to get to that card to blow out the back row, rather than just saying, hey, I'm going to play a card that really your opponent can't respond to, you know? I just don't like Trunade. I think it should go, but will they do it? Probably not. Now, for one I think really needs to go right now is the Sanctified Dark Lord, just because you can recycle its effect so many times and then trigger something like Destiny Draw really easily, which is a thing Dark Lords are doing. And a gate like this should have some kind of tangible cost to it, but given the way Dark Lords work, it really removes any downside for this card. Despite it being a 1 already, it really removes any downside for this to be a thing. So I, as well as many others I think, want to see Dark Lords be here. They've been around for a year now, no, 2 years now, sorry. April 30th, 2019 was when we had the box with Ixchel in, and I think it's about time for them to once again just kind of be pushed away into obscurity, because it's not fun. Moving on to Limited 1, absolutely nothing. I couldn't think of anything right now that really needs to be, hit to 1. I feel like Limit 2 is always the harsher hit, and so right now there's nothing really that to me stands out as being Limit 1 worthy, but Limit 2 is where we get into the big boys. So first up, Cybernetic Future Support going to 2 alongside the current copy of Cybernetic Overflow. Cyber Dragon is currently one of the most rampant decks on ladder in PvP, maybe not in tournaments, but in case you can't PvP, it's definitely there. It's relatively cheap for the core, no pun intended, and this card immediately gets your Cyber Style, which then gets you, more fusions, double fusion. Like, the way Cyber Dragons work is so linear and straightforward, but it's still so oppressive. You summon core, you search at overflow, you set overflow. Turn comes, overflow, nuke your opponent's board. Then, your turn comes around, you play this, you pay 2,000, summon your Cyber Style skill, you bring your cards out, search at your Cyberload, bam, fusion, you win. I feel like the Cyber Dragons have been needing a hit for a while now. Of all the decks on here, they're definitely the oldest, well, they're not the oldest, but they're the most fair, I guess, in a way. But this being a fumble card means that going to 2 won't hurt, players that much. So, by all means, go and bring it. Then to keep our Dark Lords busy, we have Star Seraph Chair at 2. This is the only way you can hit Star Seraphs right now and still keep them around. If you hit the UR to 2, then I think that's a bigger hit than going for the chair. But given it's such a new card, a new engine in Duel Links, I don't think I want to give it a really big hit and outright kill it, because then you really, you can't sell a box anymore, because the main draw of that box is going to be these Star Seraphs. And over time, it's going to see more and more play as we get more generic rank 4s, more, Xyz decks that require an engine to work. It's going to see play over time, and so you don't want to kill it right now, but putting it 2 would basically remove from Dark Lords, because they can't play their Ixchel or their Contact as is right now with the chair, so you get rid of the chair, there's no point playing the stick, you kind of remove that engine from the deck, and you can then still play it in your Dark Magician if you really want to, which, yeah, I feel like Chair 2 might just be worthwhile. Then for Onomats we have Dododo Draw or Gargaga Sister to 2. Now of course if they do ban Trunade, then you kind of have removed the need to really do this in a way, but I feel like they're not going to do anything with Trunade, and so if they just hit some more draw power, then that's a good thing, because Dodo Draw is discard or remove 1 to then draw 2. Which is then 2 more chances to get into your Trunade, which then can blow up the board, easy OTK. I really don't like the fact that Onomats can do it so easily. Dragoon Tees got hit very quickly because they can do that. They can go into the Trunade, summon a big 4,000 guy, and win the duel. And Onomats can do, I think, a bit better than that, in bringing out 1 or 2 Xyzes that have negates that can also win the duel by themselves. So it's a tough one for Onomats. I feel like, they're going to be hit on this list with a card thing rather than the skill. I feel like that's a safe prediction to make. But if they do, I think it'll be one of these 2 cards. And if not, then I'm very interested to see what they do think of hitting. Because right now, Dodo Draw is a 3 of, and Sister is a 2 of. So, going to be interesting to see what they do. And finally, for Limit 2s, we have Sage with Eyes of Blue. I really don't know what to do with Blue Eyes, because as a deck, they're not overly broken, right? I feel like Dark Lords are the more broken deck, but Blue Eyes, given you see them so much on ladder, is way less fun to play against. Like, Duel Links Entertainment did a video yesterday talking about Blue Eyes and how it's shaping up to be the new for hire. And I agree. It's not fun going into ranked and playing 85% of your duels against a Blue Eyes player. Regardless of whether you can win or lose, if your deck is really strong against Blue Eyes, good, but winning a duel or losing a duel should still be fun. And playing Blue Eyes 24/7 isn't fun. So I haven't been playing Duel Links that much, apart from, logging in, doing 3 daily duels. If I win or lose, it's fine, whatever, and then logging out. So I think Sage to 2 would do a decent enough job of removing access to those limit 2 cards and also reducing the chance of getting a Spirit Dragon turn 1, but they could do more. And I think most people really want to see the interaction between Cards of Consonance and Whitestone reduced, and so if they really wanted to, then limit 3, Cards of Consonance, and Whitestone on the list. If they do this, they could take Sage out of limit 2 because, you've then reduced the draw power, the send to the graveyard. Will they do it? No. Blue Eyes is their baby. It's making them so much money right now. I think that's why we haven't had a structure deck in a while, because Blue Eyes is making so much money. And if they give a new structure deck, then that might mean they need to hit Blue Eyes in some way, shape, or form. So, I really don't know. I would like to see Blue Eyes hit, maybe not too harshly, but the skill can be hit a little bit, the deck hit a little bit, but I would go with Sage to 2, the skill getting hit, and that'll be the first round of hits, and then if they need more, which they probably will do, then we could talk about the limit 3, and of course, unlimited, every time, Magician's Rod. This needs to come back, and on a serious note, if Blue Eyes avoids this entirely, like no hits, I'm going to be pissed, because Dark Magician got slapped 2 or 3 times, like really quickly, and Blue Eyes is like, hey, yep, we're just chilling, we give an alternative for free, we give you a fusion that can, attack twice and come short of battle. At the end of the day, this will be the worst balance prediction on YouTube, probably, but let me down below what you want to see in the ban list. I hope it's good. I do. I really hope it's good, or the main box comes out and is insane. New Xyz decks that can't be abused by Dark Lords or Star Seraphs. That'd be nice, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.